Have you ever wondered what separates a solid defense from a championship winning one? It's not just talent, it's about mastering the art of defending, it's about desire. And today we'll break down the key components that form the backbone of any great team. Hey everyone, it's Markens again. Welcome back. I'm starting to like seeing you guys here again on a regular basis. Today, we're diving into the art of defending. A strong defense is the foundation of every successful team. There's no questions about that. Look, let's say your day's not going well in terms of the offensive side. If you're sound defensively, you're always in the game. Okay, you're not getting blown out of the building, if you will. Okay, you're not being completely dominated in terms of the scoring, right? And that always gives you enough confidence to stay in. So let's explore three crucial defensive parts: the Marken, which is man, individual defending. Let's talk a little bit about the two-man defending, and then we'll talk a little bit about more of a team structure as well. Okay, so let's get right into it. Awesome. Look, most people really ignore this aspect of the game, okay? But marking your opponent is about really having desire, having pure desire to make it more difficult for your opponent to get what they want, okay? So let's talk about individual defending. The first part is the person closest to the ball is always the first defender. Don't ever forget that. If a coach asks you, who's the first defender? It's not a trick question. Who's closest to the ball? That's your first defender. And that first defender's job is not to win the ball. It is actually to make play predictable. So if you make it predictable, you're going to make the player with the ball go where you want that player to go. Not where you want to go. Make it predictable. So cut the field in half if you can. Push them against the sideline if you want to. Just don't give them free reign of the entire field, because now you're at their mercy, okay? The second part is what you really want to do is, the second part is to get close enough so that you can touch them with your hand, okay? You're not trying to touch them, but you get my point. You want to be close enough to be able to if you wanted to. You don't have to, that's not the point. The point is, you should be close enough to that ball. That's when you know you're adding pressure. Otherwise, if you're too far away, you're really a spectator. You're not pressuring. You're not pressuring anybody unless you get in their face. Okay? So that's truly where the individual defending comes in. Make sure you're close enough, and then push them where you want them to go. Do not allow them to pick and choose where they want to go, because then you're at their mercy, and that's never good. All right? It's good if you're the offensive player. If you're the defensive player, you'd never want them to have free reign of the field. Okay, so again, those are the basic fundamentals, really. And then the next part about that, on the individual part, is you never want to overcommit. Okay, so keep the ball in between you and that player. Keep pushing them where you want them to go. And then, I would say the best tackle is like a toe poke or something like that. Just don't bite on it. Okay, good players who are skilled and deceptive are definitely going to make you pay for that. All right. So you can always try to. Let's talk about this possession a little bit more. Let's expand on that. So the tackling you want to be able to do is, look, you can fake stab just so you can really encourage them to do something that you may want them to do. You can toe poke that ball. You can make sure that you shoulder to shoulder, and then if the opportunity arises, you can certainly dispossess the player by stepping in between that space in between the player and the ball and take full control of the ball. What I would say is the slide tackling. It's a great opportunity for you to do that, but anytime you're around your box, I would say 30 yards in, it's usually an act of desperation. Try not to. Look, if you have to, you have to. You're gonna do what you have to do, but please don't make that your main strategy of this possession. Okay, try the other things first and adopt them. If you do them correctly, you won't have to result. It won't have to result into a must slide tackle. Okay, and of course we're talking about the ultimate defensive. Look, if we're talking about the ultimate defensive, it's really to make play predictable and force mistakes. That's the ultimate. When you force a mistake, they kick it right to you, or out of bounds. They make the mistake and they give it to you. And that's the ultimate too. If you really want to expand on, okay, ultimately what I want to do, I want to force a mistake, so I'll force him to give me the ball. You want the ball, right? That's what you want ultimately. So it's truly what you're ultimately trying to do. Now, let's talk a little bit about the defensive teamwork. Defensive teamwork, look, this is as simple as this. Who's the first defender? You got it. Who's the second defender? The guy second to the ball. And all you really want to do is to be slightly off the shoulder of that first defender. And you take away any through ball or any splits. That's it. So one pressures, one covers. Okay, fundamentally speaking, if you do that all over the field, 8 out of 10 times you're going to be successful, especially if you're disciplined. Okay, so it may sound simple, but it's probably the hardest thing for a coach or a trainer to teach players, because it's almost like the brain is saying, no, this couldn't be this simple. Yeah, actually it is. It's the most effective and efficient way to work as a team. All right, first and second. The third can come in as well. And that's a whole other discussion, but first and second. So we're talking about fundamentals here, and I really want you to really zoom in on that, because if you nail down those fundamentals, everything else can be built off of those fundamentals. You're gonna be you as a team, as an individual, you're gonna be very, very sound on both sides of the ball. All right. So again, by really understanding and applying and executing those details that we just talked about, it is simply going to make your game better. Your improvement is going to be exponential, because you'll know exactly what to do when you don't have the ball, and certainly when you have it, you'll be able. And in previous videos we talked about possession and attacking in the final third and offensive third and all that. Once you start putting all those pieces together and little by little you apply them to your game, next thing you know, you're becoming a pretty complete player. And you know what happens to those players? Everyone needs them. It doesn't matter what team you play for. You become such a valuable asset. You're always being asked to play. And when you do play, they don't take you off the field, even when you're tired. You know what I mean? And that's a good feeling. Hey, thanks for joining us. It's wonderful to see you guys again and be back on the podcast and chatting away about these basic fundamentals of the various aspects of the game. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, let them know about this stuff, take snippets of it, use it, apply it. I don't care what you do, just use this stuff, get out there, execute, pick 1, 2, 3 of the stuff that we talked about today, apply them to your game, and little by little your game is going to change for the better. Until next time, keep plugging away at it and keep enjoying and loving the game. I'll see you guys soon. Great to be back. Talk to you later.